Welcome to my kitchen, welcome to Cook and Scoop. Have you ever tried lahmacun, a very typical and famous Turkish dish? You can say that it's kind of a Turkish pizza. We like it very much in Turkey. Actually, my son loves it, and I promise that I'm going to be making it for tonight. So, if you want to join me to make lahmacun all together, then we can end up with a lovely, delicious homemade lahmacun for dinner. I know that most of the tourists visiting Turkey have tried lahmacun at least once and they fell in love with it. My students love it, and most of the time they ask me how we make it. Normally we eat it at the restaurants, but today I'm going to make it at home. So we're going to end up with a gorgeous, delicious homemade lahmacun together. There are two stages for making lahmacun. Obviously the dough first and then the filling part. Actually, the first thing we need to do is to start our oven at 220 degrees. I have all my ingredients ready here, and let's start with the dough because that's the first part, and we're going to leave the dough to rest for a while. All we need is 2 water glasses of flour, a little bit of salt, and some water. Let's do it. In here I have 2 water glasses of flour, which is about like 450 grams. And then I have a little bit of salt. It's per taste. I mean, it depends on your taste as well. So what I'm going to do is first mix them. And then make a little hole in the middle. And add some water. This is about like 3/4 of a water glass, which is about 150 milligrams. So let's roughly mix everything together. We're going to knead the dough for a while until we get an elastic texture for our dough. If the dough is too sticky, you can add a little bit more of flour. Let me knead the dough a little bit on the countertop. Here I have a beautiful dough. I'm just going to put this aside and cover it with a wet towel so that it can rest a little bit. Let's prepare the filling of our lahmacun, which is very easy, but we need a food processor for this. These are my ingredients for the filling of my lahmacun. So let's start. The first thing we do is to put the onions. I put 1 onion, half a tomato. I have taken out the seeds, it's better like that. 1 paprika. 2 cloves of garlic, but if you don't like it, you can only use 1 as well. That's what I'm going to be doing. My boys don't like it that much. And let's just start this. Now I'm going to add a handful of parsley. I have a very soft consistency which looks like a puree. Now I'm going to put this in a container and continue from there on. And I will start mixing them really well. We are looking for a very soft and wet consistency or a texture for the filling of our lahmacun. As you can see, we have quite a consistency, soft, but I think I need a little bit of wetness here, so I'm going to add a little bit of water. You will have to decide about this. For me, this is not wet enough because this is going to go in the oven and it might dry up very quickly. You can even start with a little bit. Try to see how it goes. And I think I will go for more, which means that in total I will be using 1/4 of 1/4 of a water glass. I think my filling is already in great shape. So my dough is resting beneath the wet towel. I'm going to divide this into 4 pieces and then I will just roll that into a nice round shape as thin as possible. Let's do it together. And in the meantime, I actually prepared something like this, which will make my life easier to when I try to put the lahmacun in the oven, because I do not want to put a cold tray in the oven. My tray is already there. It's going to be warm enough. Because I do not want this to affect the cooking procedure. I prepare like a non-stick cooking paper aside. All I'm going to do is when I prepare the dough, I'm going to put it on this and then put the filling on it and then transfer it in the oven tray. So I'm going to take one, make a round shape. I have 4 pieces of dough. This will be more than enough for us. But if you're expecting more people or if you have a bigger family, of course you can just double up the recipe and then have more lahmacun if you would like. Okay, I have a surface that I put some flour on. I'm taking one of the doughs that I shaped into a round shape. I roughly press it down a little bit and then I start rolling. We're trying to go as thin as possible, so we should continue. And try to keep the round shape. If you're asking how big you should be doing this, I actually have a reference for myself, which kind of makes my life easy. I have a plate which is about like 25 centimeters. You can go up to 28. So I just put it in terms of shape. If it's as big as this plate, then it's fine by me. I'm almost there. The dough is ready. I'm now going to transfer it on my non-sticky paper. If you don't do this, it will be very difficult to transfer the dough with the filling on it onto this to put it in the oven. Okay, so you take a little bit of filling, and to make sure that I have exactly the same amount for all of them, I actually divide this roughly into 4 so that I know how much I will be using for each of my lahmacun. Okay, you can first start with this, and then by using your hands, just press down the meat on the dough. Make sure that you have equal amount of meat everywhere. And that's perfect. So the lahmacun is ready to go in the oven. I'm going to keep it in the oven between 7 and 8 minutes. But if you believe that it's not cooked enough for you, for your taste, then you can keep it in there for another 1 or 2 minutes, but don't burn it. So the lahmacun is ready. I'm opening my oven. My tray is there and it's warm. I am just transferring the paper. There you go. It's in the oven. Since the lahmacun is going to be cooked in the oven for about 6-7 minutes, I have enough time to continue with the other ones. So all I'm going to do is prepare them one by one and put them in the oven. So the first lahmacun got out of the oven. You can see how beautiful it is. And if you think that you need to cook it a little bit more, you can always go for it. This one was in the oven for 8 minutes. Well, our lahmacun is ready. And as you see, it's very well cooked. Let me show you the bottom part of it. I achieved this within 8 minutes, but as I said before, depending on your oven, it might be a little bit less or more. All you need to do is to keep the oven at 220 degrees. I'm now going to show you how traditionally we eat lahmacun in Turkey. Well, of course, it's all up to you. From now on, it's all about decoration. You can just eat it just like that. But traditionally, how we eat is like this. My son loves the pomegranate syrup, so we just have a sizzle of it on it. Then a little bit of lemon juice. And I prepared onions with sumac. It gives a wonderful taste. Sumac gives that sour taste that combines with onions really well. You can use white onions or even red onions. As much as you want, just put it on it. A little bit of green stuff. I have some parsley at home, so I'm using parsley. Then you just roll it up. Do you hear how crunchy it is? And then eat it like this. I know that tonight this lahmacun will be appreciated a lot. I hope you make it too. And if you do, please let me know about your opinions, your comments. And if you have any questions, don't forget to put them down below in the comments section. I would appreciate that. Now you don't have to go to Turkey just to eat lahmacun. You can do it at home following my video. I hope you liked my video and it was useful for you. And if you did, why don't you press that like button? And whilst you're at it, why don't you subscribe to my channel so that you can be informed about my upcoming videos where I will be sharing other delicious recipes. I hope my video encourages you and gives you the motivation to try this lovely, delicious recipe, a typical Turkish restaurant food. So enjoy your lahmacun and have lovely, delicious days. Bye bye.